Hi, I'm Ishali. I'm going to present our research designing the chatbot as a mediator for promoting deep self-disclosure to a real mental health professional. This work is collaborated with NTT researcher Naomi Yamashita and my advisor Yun Huang. In this research, we are interested in the user self-disclosure behaviors with the chatbot to explore how the chatbots could encourage humans gradually disclose their personal information, thoughts, feelings, and even fears to others. Due to a time limitation, we offer the full versions on personal website. I will share a link at the end of this presentation. Chatbot as an AI technology are increasingly applied in many domains. Because chatbots provide a convenient and a low-cost channel, both scholars and the practitioners are developing effective chatbots to address the challenges in healthcare services, such as limitation of the human and the doctor resources and the social stigma for mental health care. Chatbot could play as a counselors, coach, and educators in healthcare applications. And in order to be effective, these applications will require users to deep self-disclosure and encourage in interventions over a long period of time. According to SBT theory, interpersonal communication usually moves from shallows to deepers, and this process may take some time to achieve. In addition, self-disclosure is reciprocal, which may encourage other person in turn to disclose information of the same level and gradually going to deep self-disclosure. So self-disclosure is a key to individuals to form an interpersonal and intimate relationship. Many studies have suggested to the importance, again of this slide. So self-disclosure is a key to individuals to form an interpersonal and intimate relationship. Many studies have suggested that the importance of self-disclosure in different areas, including healthcare. So we are wondering how human self-disclosure with a chatbot in the context of the healthcare. Many chatbot studies focus on the interaction between the chatbot and the users, and they found that a chatbot with social dialogue could encourage users' self-disclosure and improve engagement, which means reciprocal effect may exist when the interaction between the chatbot and the human. The causal paradigm indicates that people mindlessly apply social norms and expectations of human relationships when interacting with a computer agent. Thus, through a long-term interaction with a chatbot, we are interested in if human could further build up the relationship and increase depths of self-disclosure with a chatbot over time. And many existing research only focus on one-shot experiments, how chatbot can promote deep self-disclosure of time is underexplored. However, Howard et al. Suggests that people may trust robots too much, and this trust becomes a source of a risk if a robot make inappropriate suggestion. Therefore, human support may be still necessary under the context, such as the healthcare service. There are some research gaps which need to be addressed. First, it is under studies that how a chatbot could promote user self-disclosure over time. Second, as I mentioned, human support may still important in some scenario, such as chatbot for mental well-being. Most of prior research focused on the human-chatbot interactions. It is also important to understand whether chatbot could be a mediator to help people share self-disclosure with an expert. Finally, some study in the HCI also use the chatbot to deliver guidance, but there is lack of studies to explore how human support may affect users' perception and behaviors when integrating human support into a chatbot system. This figure explains the scenario of our study. There are two main parts in this study. In the first part of the study, we are interested in how to design a chatbot to elicit the user's deep self-disclosure. As I mentioned above, in a healthcare application, it may require users to interact with the assistant over a long period of time. Thus, through a long-term interaction with a chatbot, we are interested in if a human could further build a relationship and a self-disclosure deeply with a chatbot. For the second part, we aim to develop a chatbot that plays as a mediator between users and the human supporter. Thus, after collecting users' deep self-disclosure, We are wondering if a chatbot could serve as a mediator to facilitate people's self-disclosure to a mental health professional. So, two main research questions are asked in this study. We mainly explored these two research questions. Please refer our papers for more details about the hypothesis or assumption of our research. First, we investigate how participants will share their self-disclosure with a human expert through a chatbot. And we follow experts what factors will affect users' sharing behavior. There are three conditions in these studies which controlling different level of chatbot self-disclosure. So that is from the no self-disclosure to the high self-disclosure. We want to see if the different level of the chatbot self-disclosure could elicit users' deep self-disclosure and share with the third party. So this is our chatbot interface. In general, all users use the same interface to interact with the chatbot. The conversation flow follows most of the chatbot design for healthcare. Most of the applications usually start from greeting and then jump to the guidance or treatment, which is similar to the ND condition in our study. We modify this design by adding small talk before going to a sensitive question. And we control the chatbot self-disclosure level to explore how it will affect user self-disclosure. In addition, although the chatbot had a different level of self-disclosure, the ND and the LD participants will receive the same amount of the question. In the general and the sensitive question sections, all participants got the same questions and the same follow-up questions. The chatbot was like a listener in the two sessions, and our study compared the user self-disclosure levels in their two sections. We collect all of these responses and analysis the self-disclosure levels, but I will mainly present the results from the sensitive questions in the presentation. In the second part, the chatbot will introduce a doctor or say the mental health professionals to the participants and suggest them to share their self-disclosure with the doctor. And they are allowed to modify their prior response before sharing. About participants, we have 47 participants, and we evenly separate them into three groups, and this study lasts for 4 weeks. This is our study result. We found that most of the response were shared. Only 8% of them not shared with the doctor, which means that chatbot can effectively mediate users' deep self-disclosure to a mental health professional. However, we found that there were some users decide to add or delete their prior answers. Those users tend to reduce all details, such as their thoughts and feelings, especially for the ND group. Users also did not like to share their thoughts, which may relate it to others, such as families or friends. However, some participants add more information before sharing with the doctor. There are two main reasons why they add the information. As you can see from the slides, the first reason is because they want to help the doctor to understand their response. And they also maybe change their thoughts when they saw those questions again. In addition, still some participants did not like to share their answers with the doctor. There are two main reasons. First, especially for the ND groups, they did not trust in the doctor, which deters their motivations to share. For the LD and the HD, they thought it is not necessary to share with the doctor because they don't see the immediate benefits of sharing their data with the doctor. For the interview, we can see trust was one of the important factors mentioned by the participant. Thus, we present our survey result of the participants' trust in the chatbot and the NHP at the different stages. Based on the figures, you can find that sharing data with doctor did not decrease users' trust in the chatbot. However, we can see that when evaluating users' trust in the doctor, HD's members has the highest level of the trust. The reason is as the quote, the high self-disclosure chatbot could be used to convince users to trust the third parties. In this study, there are three main contributions. The first contribution is that we evaluate the effect of the time to see how the chatbot can convince users deep self-disclosure over time. And the second contribution is that the chatbot can be used to mediate users' trust and their deep self-disclosure contents to help deliver this information to a third party. So this research mainly contribute to the understanding of integrating human support into human chatbot interaction to deliver the guidance. Here, I give three insights from our study. The high self-disclosure chatbot design connected participants with their doctor, which may help lower the barriers of sharing their deep self-disclosure. However, ethical issues may be raised here. This finding also implies a potential risk for the users to overshare their private information with the chatbot. This may cause users to disclose their vulnerabilities, which may be dangerous if they are abused. Leverage the bonding between the professional image and the chatbot need to follow study. Overedges in professional image may result in users overestimating a chatbot's efficacy. Finally, this is a limitation for this study. Although participants has a deeper self-disclosure and are willing to share with the doctor, this also increased their expectation from getting feedback from a doctor, but we did not address this impact in the study. Therefore, in our future study, we are going to explore the effect of integrating users' human support in a human chatbot interaction to give guidance, influence users' behaviors and experience. Thank you for your listening today. This is my presentation. If you want to see the full version, please reach my personal website. We provide a full version of video on my website. If you have any question, please feel free to leave your message or send an email to me. Thank you.